In this video, I want to talk about why I think Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is the worst Pokemon game ever made, and how the DLC actually made the game worse. And I also want to talk about some of the problems of the game and things that I just really hate about Scarlet and Violet. So feel free to leave comments down below and share your opinions on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet as well. And now let's get into the video. So, as we all know, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has probably the worst graphics and motions of all time, even worse than Legends Arceus. And when they announced the DLC, I actually hoped that they might fix this problem. But no, they did absolutely nothing. And the DLC looks just as bad as the original game. And I still remember that when Pokemon Sword and Shield came out, people were complaining that it looks really bad. And now that we have Scarlet and Violet, it's actually making Pokemon Sword and Shield look like a god tier masterpiece, which is just really funny to me. The DLC has two parts, the Teal Mask and the Indigo Disc. Now, I actually really enjoy playing the Indigo Disc. I like catching starter Pokemon and shiny hunting for them, but the Teal Mask DLC is just, it's pretty bad. I mean, like, I do kind of like the story, and I think the idea of the story is actually pretty cool. But it's just the way that the story was presented that makes it just bad. And also the design of the new legendary Pokemon are some of the absolute worst designs that I have ever seen in my life. Like, there's just no way I can take the game seriously when I see these three legendary Pokemon. Like, I don't know if Nintendo just ran out of ideas for new legendaries, or they actually think these new legendaries looks good. These three looks like they were designed by 6-year-olds. I mean, just compare these to the older legendaries and you'll understand why I hate them so much. And they don't just have bad designs, but they are actually super weak in the game. Like, they don't feel like legendaries at all. The old legendary Pokemon feel so much more intimidating and just powerful. They also have sick designs, like even Zacian and Zamazenta are so much more powerful and cooler than these weird looking things. I can't even be bothered to remember their names because they're just, I hate them so much. And the quest in the Teal Mask DLC also feels really repetitive. Like, it started getting boring very early on in the game, and it feels like Nintendo isn't even trying to make this DLC enjoyable. They didn't even try to fix the graphics problem. The entire DLC feels super cheap and just low quality. Compared to the Teal Mask DLC, the Indigo Disc is so much better, but it's still not great. I did say that I like shiny hunting starter Pokemon in Indigo Disc, but that's about the only thing that I actually genuinely enjoy doing. But I can't really judge that much because I haven't actually finished playing through the story yet. But I just can't be bothered. Like, I don't have the motivation to finish it because, again, it's just really repetitive. But the Indigo Disc is definitely better than the Teal Mask. But if you are thinking to buy the DLC, then don't, because it's not worth the money. I spent 55 New Zealand dollars on this thing, which is not cheap. It's very expensive actually, and I really don't think it's worth the money. Another problem I have with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is the painful shiny hunting method. This has nothing to do with the DLC, but I find the shiny hunting methods to be very complicated, especially the Herba Mystica hunting method. Like, you literally have to find Herba Mystica first before you can actually shiny hunt, and sometimes Herba Mystica is rarer than the actual shiny, which is pain in the neck. And to find Herba Mystica, you have to battle in the 5 or 6 star raids, and oh boy are those raids painful. And you don't even get Herba Mystica every time. There's only like a 15% drop rate or something. I have wasted so much time just searching for some Herba Mystica so I can shiny hunt, and I really hate doing this. Every time I finish shiny hunting, I get so drained, and I don't even want to open up the game anymore for the next like 1 month because it's so tiring. Anyways, shiny hunting aside, I think Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is a very messy game. It's all over the place, and it's got some of the worst Pokemon designs, worst graphics, and also probably the worst DLC I have ever played. The way that the story was presented, and you know, I just, there's something wrong with the cutscenes in Scarlet and Violet. It just feels super lifeless. And also the way that the dialogue was delivered, you know, how the characters speak to each other and stuff. It's super, super lifeless. Like, I don't know why, but it's just very lifeless, and I really hope that in the next Pokemon game or something, Nintendo can fix this problem, because this has been a problem for pretty much every Pokemon game. It's just no voiceovers, the cutscenes, the dialogues feel super lifeless. Yeah, that's a really big problem. But to me, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is probably the worst Pokemon game ever made, unless Nintendo makes something even worse. And if you have anything to say or add to this video, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I read almost all of my comments. And if you enjoy the video, please don't forget to drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps a ton. And also, we recently just hit 20k subscribers, so thank you guys so much for subscribing. It really helps a ton. And I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next video.